TMNT Universe is meant for adult collectors and Ninja Turtles fans.
This is a Channel 6 News special report.
Comic-Con has ended and so has all the news, so let's see what happened this weekend. Starting off, the one thing I had hopes for is that we would have more concrete news of what was happening with the Turtle license. And now I feel like we have some depressing confirmation with zero clarity. But for some context, let's get into the toys. NECA had one new figure, but at least it's a good one. Ultimate Tempestra will finish out the Rogues as well as the Turtle line completely. This is a really good representation of her, and the soft goods look really nice. She comes with some energy effects and a full arcade cabinet with changeable screens. We did get to see production samples of Casey and Metalhead. Both look really good. The Splinter is still the same 3D print that we've already seen, so I'm curious to see what the final figure looks like. And everything shown at Comic-Con is it. No Ninja Splinter, no Giant Krang, no bogus Beach Bros Slash. There isn't even going to be a 2012 Slash. I could go through a long list of cancelled figures, but at this point, if you don't see it at Comic-Con, it's not happening. And furthermore, at the end of the con, Ciro Nieli dropped this picture, showing us what we were going to miss out on, with prototypes of the LARP Turtles, Sir Malachi, and the Creep. And of course the one figure that should have been made, this April O'Neil. This prototype looks really good. These would have been a for sure pickup for me, and it sucks that this line in particular never really got to shine. NECA opened the vault again this year, but after the news it just feels kinda like a fire sale. As far as TMNT, Wednesday started with the Mirage Sketch Turtles. Thursday had the Loot Crate Armagon, Rex 1, Space Usagi, and the Tall Gangster with Short Thug. Friday rolled out with the Turtles in Time Pirate Bebop and Rocksteady, the Shredder clones, the Neutrinos, and the Rock Soldier and Crooked Ninja Turtle Gang Goon. Then we had the Last Ronin accessory set, Glow-in-the-Dark Muckman and Joe Eyeball, and the Archie Krang Shredder. And on the last day, the Fugitoid, Super Bebop and Mighty Rocksteady, and finally Bugman with Electro Zapper. The prices weren't too good on these either, with some older items seriously going up in price. That Neutrino set was going for $100, which is insane. If you missed them, I guess just be patient and you'll find them at Ross pretty soon. I'm going to speculate here, or more appropriately, be optimistic about the future. I don't know anything for sure, but something like this line ending has happened before. Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street have both faced legal issues that halted figures. In fact, so did Alien when Disney bought 20th Century Fox. After a long hiatus, NECA was able to pick up at least two of those series with new figures, finishing out the Friday the 13th movies and a couple of new Xenomorphs. I'd say treat this like it's the complete end of the line, but keep a tiny glimmer of hope that one day we can get some more NECA TMNT. Just like everyone else at Comic-Con, Brian Flynn was super cagey about the Turtles. He mentioned that the exclusive 4-pack had all 4 glowing turtles, so obviously Leo and Mikey are in the works, and that they would come with at least 2 other figures. No word on who those are, but obviously it's Bebop and Rocksteady. And he alluded to at least one more wave of 2003 figures. If they go up in the next few months, that would be just at the end for them and Turtles. They did have Raph in the Turtle Cycle as well as a custom motorcycle helmet that honestly I have zero interest in, but no April or Hun. So nothing that exciting for Turtles this year. McFarlane had a preview event, a booth, and a panel without a turtle in sight. So let's just add them to the list of license losers and move on. I'll revisit this if anything changes, but I doubt it will. Mezco had previously seen collectibles at the booth. I really like this posing for Splinter, and the Shredder is looking really good. The clothes seem to be a little more tailored since its previous showings. And we got another look at the more cartoon Foot Soldier. I'm really digging this figure, and by the looks of this group, they might be up for pre-order soon. There was nothing really new to show off since we've seen all these in the past in one way or another, and I was kind of expecting them to bring out the Mirage Foot Ninja, but at this point we may never see him. Comic-Con has mostly been a cowabummer, but Mondo might have just made up for it, so let's start with the vinyls. Like I thought, we got to see Leatherhead, and he looks even better than the concept art. I'm a huge fan of this over-the-top sculpture for the Gator and his newly created sidekick, Gumbo. And these sculpts from Brandon Gash make me want a cartoon inspired by this look. And he wasn't alone in the Mondo booth. They revealed that a Splinter and April 2-pack is on its way. Again, the sculpt on these is great. This is probably the best a cartoon April product has looked in a while. And Splinter is perfectly represented here. The soft goods are tailored very well, and his embroidered kaman is a nice touch. This is a great reveal for me because I really love Attack Peter's lino cut art, and having Turtles with his artistic touch is pretty boss. And the really exciting news is it seems like Mondo has been spared and will be making more Mondoverse TMNT. First things first, in my last video I predicted that we'd see the Shredder, but that was basically guaranteed. But I also said I hoped we would get at least some info on Raph and Mikey, and boy did we. That Shredder, in my opinion, is the best Shredder there has been. All the detail and blending of so many different versions of Oroku Saki makes this figure a true work of art. I'm loving the direction that the Mondoverse is going, and can't wait to see what all he'll come with, since the accessories for Donatello and Leonardo set a high bar that I'm sure Shredder will meet. Raph is looking like a brute and is even rocking a few scars. This post-apocalyptic tire armor kinda reminds me of different variations that Playmates has done in the past. In fact, it kinda looks like the fighting gear Raph from the 2003 series. Since in-universe Casey has been injured, Raph has taken over as a vigilante, similar to his Nightwatcher persona, but he's keeping Casey's influence with a trench coat and hockey mask. Again, I'm really excited to see what accessories and portraits he has. This expression for Mikey sold me on this figure. They were really able to capture his personality. Great accessories, great story, blah blah blah, punk, frogs. I'm from the South, so I've always had a connection to the frogs. Genghis and Napoleon were on display and they're too adorable in their Hawaiian shirts. It sounds like they are still kids and Mikey acts as sort of a big brother, and I'm loving this fresh take on the characters. The package art has 4 frogs on it, so hopefully we're getting them all. And a side note, I think it's cool that Mondo Gecko lives in this universe as a Tony Hawk-like pro skater, who hopefully crosses paths with these turtles and goes through some changes. Donnie and Leo were also on display. It's nice to see all 4 brothers together. But let's talk about the future. The first new reveal was the Foot Soldier. This design is continuing from the movie universe but blending in the cartoon, really loading out these robot ninjas. The blaster and mace from the Playmates figure, as well as some robots from the video games and a few other tech threats with another Roadkill Rodney and Mouser, adding more army builders to this army builder. This dude has a lot of options for display. A huge surprise, and I do mean huge. At the moment, I can't even imagine how big these two will be. Since NECA has cancelled the movie concepts Bebop and Rocksteady, this duo is the closest we are getting to cinematic versions. And personally, I prefer the look of these. It's still early, so plenty of time to speculate on what their accessories will be. Personally, I hope Bebop comes with a fishbowl with a palm tree for his pet turtle. I mean, one day they have to do Slash, right? Adding up all the Mondoverse TMNT that's been revealed, and it's pretty evenly split with 4 heroes and 4 bad guys. With 2027 pretty stacked, I'm already looking forward to them adding more characters to the roster in 2028. Playmates had their final turtle showing during their panel. There was some discussion about the G.I. Joe TMNT that are hitting stores now with some behind-the-scenes images. And as for anything new, the Cowabunga Forever sets that were mentioned earlier in the year were revealed, coming in Battle Damage 2-packs of the original figures and a movie 5-pack. And I can't really say that I'm looking forward to any of this, besides the Joe Turtles. I am very excited for those. But more rehashed original Turtles doesn't really do it for me, especially since Playmates has flooded the market with these. But this is how it ends. Not with a bang, but a whimper. Mattel had nothing of Turtles to speak of, so I'm guessing it'll be the new year and Toy Fair before we know anything. I'm being open-minded and hoping that some of the companies will continue and make a new deal with Mattel going forward. Okay, some non-toy and collectible news. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles premiered during the con on July 24th, and it is very cute. The first 2 episodes have a monster pizza and Bebop and Rocksteady. It's a simple, positive show, and I can't wait to share it with the kids in my life. And as they grow up, we can share all the other versions of the Turtles as well. Considering the audience for this, I think they're doing a pretty good job. And during the IDW comic panel, we did find out that they are working closely with Platinum Games on the last run in video game, but other than that, no real concrete news, except the game will be ready when it's ready. There are some things outside of the Turtles that I was personally excited about this year, like the return of the Skeleton Warriors. I love these figures back in the day, and the 4 Horsemen are giving them a glow up. And from Big Bad Workshop, more Cops and Crooks. I'm actually really excited for Long Arm, Dr. Bad Vibes, and Buzz Bomb. And even though it's not something that I collect, I always look forward to seeing the 1/6 figures from Mondo. The cartoon Marvel and DC figures really capture those characters, and their own takes on things are peak design, which led to those perfect Mondoverse TMNT. I'm curious if you guys would be interested in me talking about other figures I'm into other than Turtles from time to time. Let me know in the comments. From here, we're probably going to have to wait for New York Comic Con for any other news, but if anything happens, I'll keep you posted. Until then, this has been Utramex for Channel 6 Happy Hour News, signing off.
This has been a Channel 6 News special report.
Hey guys, if you liked the video, don't forget to kick that like button, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. I upload every Turtle Tuesday, so you can always come back to see what's new. You can also check me out on various social media, links in the description. And as always, for all things Turtles, check TMNT Universe.